Diapers on a Plane.
Welcome to episode 53 of Diapers on a Plane. Today it's just Catherine and I talking about a super fun experience we had in Japan.
One of the most unfortunate of unfortunate circumstances.
Yeah, this is a flashback episode. But it's a fun one.
It's fun in hindsight, I guess.
So let's just jump right into it. So we're going to talk to you today about how we got all of our money stolen in Japan, of all places.
So everybody's worried about theft when they go on a trip, but you're always worried about it in like places like Europe or South America, but you never ever hear about theft in places like, well, in Asia, especially in Japan and especially in Korea, which is super interesting to me because I didn't know about this when we went to Japan, but there were far more things we needed to be worried about in Japan that we didn't know about, which I'm glad I didn't know about then, or maybe we wouldn't have gone.
Really?
Yeah. Like all those creepy things that happen on the subway.
Oh, like if you're a lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I've heard a lot of like creepers on the subway and stuff like that. I think you're a little bit safer traveling as a family, luckily.
Yeah,
but when we went to Japan, everyone had told us about how nobody ever steals anything in Japan.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about anything. Everybody's so nice. Everybody is so
and I think
honest.
Honestly, I think for the most part that's true.
You know, it probably is true. What people don't take into account is when they talk about how honest and how nice everybody is in Japan, that it's also one of the highest tourist capital places in the world.
So if you're in one of the big tourist spots like Tokyo, 90% of the people you jump into aren't locals.
Yeah.
Right? They're from everywhere around the globe. So that's what happened to us.
Yeah, especially, you know, in this district that we ended up finding ourselves in when this unfortunate circumstance happened. So here is to set the stage. This is what happened. No place in Japan accepts credit. It is all cash. So
cash is key in Japan.
Yeah.
You want to go to McDonald's out on the street, it's cash.
Yeah, you have to have cash every single place you go. And so you need to have a lot of cash on you at all times, or you're paying tons of ATM fees, or you're constantly running to the ATM just to get money.
It's actually one of the things I love about Japan. They're known for their vending machines. They've got vending machines for everything. They've got pop machines everywhere, and I love it. But yeah, it's interesting. You go to Mr. Donuts, you go to McDonald's, anywhere, it's cash only.
Yeah, which is actually one of the reasons their currency has fared so well, and their currency continues to fare so well, and they don't have high levels of inflation, is because they primarily deal with cash. So, I mean, like you can pay for on credit your hotel or your Airbnb or whatever, but when it just comes to like local merchandise and things that you're going to be buying, you need cash.
Yeah, and so this episode we're going to cover what happened to us because it's not the longest story, but it is incredibly fascinating. So stay tuned. Yeah. But then we're going to share some of the tips and tricks to keep yourself safe while you're traveling.
To prevent pickpockets, to prevent theft, to prevent losing all of your money in one fail swoop in a foreign country.
So let's set the stage for what happened. We were out shopping all day long. We were out in some of the shopping districts.
Yeah.
And we had three children.
Yeah.
One was about 2 years old, and then we had the twins.
Yeah.
So all fairly young.
So we had Widmore, Pie, and Eclair.
Yep. So we've been out shopping all day, and so around the evening time, we're about to head back to our apartment, but we wanted to make one more stop. So we were about to go back to our room. Wanted to make one more stop because I think it was getting towards the end of our trip.
We were just a few days away from coming home, and one of the things that Japan is known for are their Kit Kats. So Kit Kat originated in Japan.
Kitokato.
And they love Kit Kats.
Did they originate in Japan?
Yeah.
I thought they were just popular because of the name Kitokato. Kit Kat did originate in Japan.
Okay, according to The Diplomat, the chocolate wafer company first appeared in Japan through parent company Nestle in 1973.
Yeah, and was translated into Kitokato.
Kitokatsu.
Which phonetically mirrors the phrase Kitokatsu.
Oh, no, wait, okay, sorry. The brand name Kit Kat was translated to Kitokato, which phonetically mirrors the phrase Kitokatsu.
Which is a gift, right? Isn't it like a... Kitokatsu means you will surely win.
Ah.
So it's a good luck treat.
Look at
It's
that.
a good luck treat.
Well, it wasn't for us.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, and so...
So in the year 2000, Kit Kat introduced like their very first flavor, and then it just went nuts. So they introduced strawberry, then they went like crazy. There's been like, oh boy, dozens and dozens of different flavors. They release one every single year, every single holiday, every single everything. There's strawberry, there's raspberry, there's coffee, there's matcha, there's green tea, there's dark chocolate,
kimchi, everything.
Kimchi, yeah, dark chocolate.
And so, in the US, we only have chocolate.
Yeah.
So we wanted to take a whole bunch of Kit Kats home as gifts.
Yeah.
And so, but because we'd been out shopping all day, we were out of cash. And so I went to an ATM machine and took out
maximum amount.
$350.
Yeah,
so
maximum amount.
Take the maximum amount out so that you don't have to go again and pay the fees.
Yeah.
Put it in my wallet, no problem. Here we go. We're going back to our apartment. We decided to stop at a Don Quixote.
Well, we went out of our way to stop there because we had looked for Kit Kats everywhere. We went to the actual Kit Kat Kat confectionery, which is just this little tiny kiosk inside an underground mall.
And they're crazy expensive.
Yeah. And so we went back to the Don Quixote which is a very large multi-level shopping store.
Yeah.
It's a discount store, and we do not recommend taking your children in there. It is not family friendly.
Yeah.
But it does have a whole snack level. And then all the other levels are all the other things that you don't want to go to.
Yep, not family friendly, but they have lots of flavors of Kit Kat, and they're cheap.
And they're so cheap, yeah.
So when we got there that night, that evening, in the middle of Tokyo.
Yeah. It's right next door to like the giant King Kong that you see in all the Japanese pictures.
Yeah, so Catherine hadn't taken her wallet.
I don't carry my wallet around because this is one of the anti-pickpocket things.
Okay.
Because I am notorious for leaving it.
Oh, she is.
And the last place I want to leave it is in a foreign country. So I don't take my wallet around. And plus, like, I'm worried about the kids, and one more thing to carry, especially on your shoulder, it just creates problems. So I didn't have my wallet.
So we had agreed the kids were tired. We didn't want to take them in there because it's not family friendly. So I gave Catherine my wallet and sent her in so she could take, 5 minutes to get some stuff?
Yeah.
Anyway.
But it's busy.
So an hour later, I'm still waiting outside.
So it's going to take some time.
Yeah.
So I get there and I make my way straight. I mean, I want to do this quick. I don't really want to be in this kind of questionable store. I head straight to the candy area aisle section of the store and I load up. There were a couple other things I wanted to get there. Like the kids like the, what are those sticks? Those pokey sticks?
Pokies.
Oh, pokies.
Pokies, yeah.
So I wanted to get a couple of those. Like I said, it's really cheap. So anyway, I got a few things of that. And then I went to get, all the different flavors of Kit Kats. And I just got every single flavor that they have. I had a little basket that I was carrying and the wallet was in the basket with all the goods.
Yep.
So I get it and I go up to the checkout and it's a pretty long line for checkout. Like it was a busy night. I'm pretty sure it was a weekend. It was the middle of summer. So it was crazy. Get to checkout. They ring up all my stuff and I don't have my wallet or I don't have Gabe's wallet.
Yeah.
And I am frantic and I'm checking all my pockets and I'm checking, my person. And I'm like, well, maybe I said it here when I was taking it off. Anyway, I'm frantic. I am freaking out. I am bawling. I'm terrified. Now, the one silver lining of this is that, I just want to say, so it just was the wallet. It wasn't like our passport. It wasn't like ID.
It was only a wallet, so it wasn't
was
a passport
just the wallet.
pouch. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the one plus. But I do want to point out that we not only had Japanese money, but we had Chinese money too, because we had just been to China.
Yeah, so we had quite a bit of cash in there.
Yeah. I mean, it was probably 100 and something in Chinese money too.
I think
Chinese yuan.
It was a lot of money.
Yeah. So I am freaking out and I'm trying to explain what happened. Now, we said at the beginning of this vlogcast that the Japanese people are exceptionally kind, honest, and helpful. And they were. So they could see I was visibly upset and they got several employees to come and help me. And they spoke enough English to figure out what was going on. And I explained to them what happened. We went back to the candy aisle and they were combing the aisles. Everybody was searching for it. They were asking me every question. Where did you go? What did you look at? What did you buy? Where did you go? Which aisle did you walk down? Everybody was searching. Even local Japanese people saw that I was very upset and they came over to help. An aisle I had not been on, they ended up finding his wallet. And
that was
shelf.
after you'd already come out, right? Because you came out and then went back in.
No. I did it all before.
Oh, I remember
before
now.
I told you anything.
That's right, because you've been in there for like an hour and a half.
And he texted me when I was in there. I don't think it was that long, but he texted me when I was in there and I didn't respond because I was just like, what am I going to say? I don't know what to say. He's going to be upset. I mean, of course he would be upset, not necessarily at me, but just upset. I was already upset. I needed to be finding this wallet, not texting him.
Yes, I remember.
So anyway, find the wallet on a shelf that is not the shelf that the
place you hadn't even been.
Yeah, an aisle I had not even been down. I have no cash, so I can't buy the Kit Kats at this point.
Yep.
So I did. I bought them. How did I buy them?
Did they let you use credit card?
I don't remember, but I bought them because I came out with the bags.
They must have let you use credit card.
All right. I remember the bad parts.
Well, that's what, because I remember you came out just crying. And you're like, all of our money was stolen. I'm like, well, you have bags, so you're joking.
Yeah.
Like, then how did you pay for everything?
So I think because Don Quixote is such a big store, it was one of the ones that allowed.
Yeah, we tried to use credit cards wherever we could.
Yeah.
In Japan.
Just because it's protected.
Yeah.
All your credit card purchases are protected, and because you needed cash, it was nice to have the cash on hand. So use the credit cards when you didn't. So so I was able to buy it. I was able to use the credit cards. So what happened? They took all the cash, and that was it.
Yeah. So incredibly courteous. Thank you, thieves, for actually putting the wallet like on a shelf. Instead of, like, they could have just taken it out and thrown it in a garbage can. Yeah. Right? And then we'd be hosed. Yeah. So
they could have taken your license. They could have taken your credit cards. They could have taken everything that was in there, but they only took the cash and they left everything else, which, you know, when you're in a foreign country, we did have his passport, so I'm not sure he would have needed his ID necessarily, but still,
you'd have to,
you know, the hassle and the headache and the problems.
I didn't separate anything, so we'd have had to have canceled all our credit cards, and it would.
And then what would we have been left with?
It would have been horrible
to pay, because your debit card and your bank card, I mean, everything, we would have been totally up a creek.
What's funny is we actually have a blog post about this story, and so some people have commented that we're liars because nobody ever gets pickpocketed in Japan, and so we're like, okie dokie. Yeah. You know, I will say, like I don't know, it's pretty awful. I think what actually happened in retrospect is that whoever stole the wallet saw us outside.
Oh, that's what you think happened?
Yeah, I think they saw me give you the wallet. Yeah. And you take it in and they followed you in.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And watched for where you put it.
Yeah. I mean, we stand out like a sore thumb in jail. I have a picture on our blog on the subway, and like I'm the only blonde creature, like for my, you know, that you can see stuffed inside the subway. Right. So we definitely stood out. You know, despite all the tourists, like my hair is darker than it was when we went to Japan, but I was like platinum at the time.
But like I said, in Tokyo, there are all walks of life.
And there's not a lot of children, and we were carrying around 3 children, so we stood out for even more reasons.
So maybe that's why they left it on the shelf, because they felt bad because we were a family. I don't know, but you know, I would say in that type of situation, if I had the choice of losing everything or $350, it's like $350 hands down over losing all of that.
Yeah, and I also like to think that, you know, that person needed that money.
Oh my gosh.
I don't appreciate you taking it, but I hope that you really desperately needed it.
I love how people say that about thieves all the time.
Oh, I'm not glad that they took it. I'm just saying, I sure hope that they needed it.
I sure hope they bought some really good drugs with that money.
Stop it. They really might have needed it.
For drugs.
Anyway, so what happened? So I got the stuff. I'm still bawling. I can't stop. I'm a mess. I just felt so awful because, like I mentioned, I haven't had like all this stuff stolen, but I've had my wallet. I've had my purse stolen. I had it stolen out of our car because I took the kids to the park and I left the window down with my purse in it.
Oh my gosh. That was an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
You know what? We should cover that story in another episode. Because this isn't only about travel. This is family stuff too. Yeah. Don't leave your purse underneath your seat at a park, even if you're 10 feet away.
I was just viewing. I could view the car
because there are meth heads everywhere who are testing out your locks, and I don't know.
I have lost my phone. One time we found my phone in a potato chip bag in the back of the pantry.
6 months later.
Don't ask me how that happened.
But you're making yourself sound like it's your fault that this happened.
No, this isn't my fault. But my point is, I've also had my phone fall out of my pocket on a ride where it was tumbling upside down. Yeah. No, my point is not that it's not my fault. I just felt horrible because why am I always in these situations and these circumstances that it happens to me?
Well, that's true. Well, the one in St. Martin happened to both of us, which we'll tell it another time. Yeah. I think we should tell all these stories.
Yeah, they're great stories.
I think even the theft one, because that lady was bananas. Okay, but since this happened to us in Japan, we actually changed the way that we travel extensively. Yeah. So we're gonna go over.
Well, just let's wrap up the story. So I came out. I'm bawling. Gabriel was adorable. I mean, he just was like, you know, terrified because I'm bawling. And he's like, "Just your money was stolen. That's it. That's fine." Like it was. I just remember that so clearly. It was just the kindest way that he could have handled it. Where the most important thing was just that I was gone for such a long time and I came out and I was okay. And I just remember that. So that was really sweet. So we came out. Gabe had taken the kids across the street to like this
skill crane.
Yeah, and they had won a Pikachu that Pi still carries around. Like, it's such a sweet little memento of our trip and that horrible experience.
Yeah, Widmore cannot lose at the skill crane.
So
he was like winning all the toys while Catherine was getting robbed.
Yeah.
So
I came out, explained the situation, but we did have the Kit Kats. We went back. We did reflect on just how we just kept thinking of worst case scenarios, like we just described, like what would have happened if we had to cancel all of our cards. So we were thankful in that regard. But yeah, so let's get to the tips that we have learned from this. So what we already said was we didn't have our passports on us. And that's one of the reasons I don't carry a purse, because, you know, they can cut the purse, they can, you know, use it with a knife, and then everything you have in that purse is gone. So what we always do is carry a neck pouch with the passports in them. So it goes underneath the shirt, around the neck, it's not visible, and it's tucked in there. And now that we have a bigger family, it's better to split those up so it's not so bulky.
Yeah, we split them up. So we have 2 of them, and in each of them we have copies of the passports in them. So technically we have all the passports. A couple of them might be copies, and then a lot of times we'll put some cash in there too.
Yeah, we also keep copies of the passports on the cloud.
Yep.
Just so you always have a copy of that passport in some form or another, which actually came in really handy when we were in Mexico when we went to Xel-Há, and we were supposed to have a copy of that in order to get in to prove that we got the foreigner price. But that's another story.
But it's come in handy multiple times.
Yeah.
And then preferably you have one with RFID blocking technology.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we'll keep a spare credit card in there.
Yeah.
In case everything gets stolen, you still have a spare and your passport.
Yeah, and the RFID is just going to get better and better. So that's just really imperative.
So tip number 1, a passport pouch separate from your wallet and your money.
Yeah. All right. Tip number 2 is it doesn't cost $350 to buy Kit Kats. So don't take all your money in with you. Like if one person's going into a store and they're buying something, just take the money that you need. Leave the rest with another person.
Yep. Tip number 3, be discriminate about opening up your wallet. Wear your wallet. Don't count your cash or wave it around like Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah.
It's kind of our comment. And I think that may be what happened is someone saw me hand over my wallet to Catherine and they followed her in because it's an easy target.
Yeah.
While she's shopping, they grabbed it.
Yeah. Another good tip is you have a hotel safe for a very good reason. And one of those very good reasons is don't take everything valuable that you have in a foreign country in a crowded spot where there's 20 million people in one place. You don't need everything you brought with you on your vacation. You don't need all of your personal identification. You don't need every bit of cash you have. You don't need every single credit card you have. You're not going to be using them all. And that hotel safe is safe for a reason, unless you're in St. Martin, which again is another story.
Yeah. And so some of the other things I want to do too is some of the other things that are on this tip. Having a theft-proof backpack might be a good idea too. People can use knives and cut them open.
So down below we will put a link to the article we wrote about this, and we have included tons of links to our favorite products that we have found that work, that we can personally vouch for, and that are just easy to click on. And we are Amazon affiliates, so no, if you do click on it, we get a kickback, but it doesn't cost you any extra. But it's just really nice and consolidated if you want to check out some of these items that you can buy.
Yeah, and in more heavy theft areas, there's a lot of advice you can have, like keep your phone put away. Those are easy to grab. They're high value.
Yeah, well, and part of the reason about your phone is that you look like a tourist. But that's changed a lot because now everybody's Instagramming posts. It depends on how you're using your phone. Are you looking at it like you're dumb and you don't know what you're doing? Or are you looking at it with intention? So you kind of need to be aware of that.
Keep in mind how you carry your valuables is a huge one. Never put your wallet in your back pocket. It's easy to grab from there. I always keep mine in my front pocket. It's a little bit more closer to you. Wear a money belt if possible in high theft areas. Try to blend in and never wear a fanny pack. Apparently, why not a fanny pack?
Because it shows that you're because people don't wear fanny packs. Who do you know that wears a fanny pack?
So data shows fanny pack wearers are the #1 targets for pickpockets. Yeah. I think it's pretty easy to like unzip them too while you're not paying attention, sitting on the subway or something.
Ty told me today she wants a fanny pack.
She wants, oh my goodness.
It's cute.
What are the top 10 worst cities to get pickpocketed in?
Well, like we said, Europe. So #1 is Barcelona,
Rome,
Prague,
Madrid,
Paris,
Florence.
Okay, so that's
Italy, my friend.
Top 6 is all Europe.
Yeah.
Then we've got Buenos Aires,
Amsterdam,
back to Europe, Athens,
and Hanoi.
Hanoi, which is actually an Asian country. So it's not all. It's not all safe over there in Asia. So.
Yeah. All right, my friend. So that's it. Keep safe while you're traveling.
Just the last thing I was going to add is just, the country that we found to be even more safe than Japan was Korea, South Korea. So when we were in South Korea, we spent 3 months there, which is far longer than we spent in Japan. We spent a month in Japan. We spent 3 months in Korea.
Oh, yeah.
And we did leave things there a lot. We left a laptop in that taxi. Oh, no, that was a cell phone. We left a cell phone in a taxi. We left a $100 scooter at a subway station. We left your backpack with a laptop in it.
With a laptop and $100 in the front pocket.
And I think your
it had all
hard drive on it.
Yep.
That was on the subway. So, and we got every single one of these things back without filing a police report, without going to a police station, all we did was call the taxi driver and got it back delivered to us. We went to the subway station and said, hey, I left my backpack on the subway. They had somebody go to the end of the line, pick it up and bring it back to us.
It was on there for like 8 hours.
Yeah. The scooter was outside, was also left at a subway station, one of our kids' scooters. We just went back to that subway station and got it. We left scooters outside. So we didn't have a car the entire time we were in Korea, and we took the subway everywhere. So everything we couldn't take into Costco, we would have to leave outside Costco. So it was like bags. It was like, you know, scooters, whatever we took that the kids had that they couldn't take into Costco. You just leave it outside Costco and nobody takes it. That truly was like amazing. That one time we were in Korea, not to diverge, this will be the last thing I say, but when we were first learning how to use the subway system, this woman came up to us and she was helping us because it was all in Korean and we couldn't tell what to do. And she put in the money. There was some change already that somebody had not taken. And she set it right there on the ledge of the subway station because it wasn't her money and it wasn't my money and it wasn't, she asked around, it was nobody else's money. It was still there like 3 days later.
Oh yeah.
Like nobody takes.
I kept seeing that money there every time we walked by.
Nobody takes anything in Korea that does not belong to them. So as much as we did love Japan, and it was a very safe country. You know, we never felt compromised in any way except for that one really unfortunate circumstance. But nothing holds a candle to South Korea.
Yeah, I agree.
So, all right. Well, thank you so much for watching. Again, click on the link below and you'll find all sorts of links, both for male and female, unisex, families, you know, lots of great links and products for you to consider for your next trip. And let us know if you have any questions, and let us know if you've had any experiences getting pickpocketed or had some theft on your trips.
All right, and we'll see you at the next episode.